Welcome back, listeners, to How Good Was It, where we review the movies of our past. Each week, one of us three fools picks a movie. We take turns, even though usually it's Scott that picks most of the movies, to be honest.
Pretty much.
Hello, Scott.
Hey, welcome back, Jen.
And hello, Dana.
Yeah, so we really couldn't watch Fantastic Four. We had to watch The Thing.
Yes,
Oh.
folks, we are doing The Thing this week. We are back to our random retro reviews of movies. Before we get into it, though, now that I've introduced this crazy bunch, I would like to remind that if you are watching us on YouTube, you are just getting a very small sampling of what we do each week at How Good Was It. There is a full-length audio podcast, and this is but a preview of that podcast. And the podcast is loads of fun. We go into detail. We do deep dives into the movie. We comb over the movie with a big ass comb, man. And we go in deep and we criticize, we have fun, and we cap it all off with our reviews and critiques of the movie. Check the full length audio podcasts on our RSS feed as well as on your favorite streaming platforms. With that out of the way, let's get into The Thing. This is not the prequel that came out just a few years ago.
No, 2011. I felt like it was a few years ago, but it was 2011, I believe.
I'm ancient, man.
It's confusing
yesterday.
It's also called The Thing. I don't know why they would give it the same title, because I saw this probably not long after it came out, maybe a year or so after it came out. And by the way, of course, I watched this.
Of
course, I watched the prequel, and I watched the original. And I watched an hour and a half documentary about the original movie as well. So, of course. But it's also called The Thing. They're both called The Thing.
Weird.
And when I saw it the first time, the new version, I just assumed it was their interpretation of the movie. I didn't realize it was a prequel until you told me last week. And
it stole a lot of the beats from the John Carpenter version. I mean, it almost felt like they tried to recreate it. The pacing was very similar. A lot of the scenery, obviously the setting was the same, but I remember them making a deal about it being an actual prequel. And if you remember how the movie ended, it goes right into it,
which was good for me because I did watch it before I watched the original. So it did flow in. And actually, when you watch the new one, they did a very good job of recreating that station that they're at in from 82. So in 82, when Kurt Russell flies to the station to go look at it, it looks the exact same condition as they left it in the 2011 prequel. They did a very good job of matching sets and making it look like the exact same.
Wow.
Is it also a commercial non-success?
I believe so. Yeah. I think it was also a bomb as well.
It's pretty much a flop. Yeah. I watched a little bit about it to several different sources on YouTube about the prequel. And there was a lot of it that actually didn't make it to the final cut. One of the things being they did a lot of practical effects because they really wanted to have a similar feel to the John Carpenter version. But
it was all CGI. Yeah,
the studio said no, it looks too 80s. We want to go CGI, and I'm like, really?
No, it was like all CGI. Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. It wasn't bad. I think tomato score was like in the 30s, so it wasn't.
Wow.
It wasn't a very well reviewed movie, but I found it entertaining. I didn't think it was particularly good, but it was fine.
I don't know. Dana looked like he had something to say. Oh boy, no. That's it. We already know where this is going with Dana.
I don't know what you mean. Whatever. Could you? I have no idea. I just want to watch this commercial non-success and review this commercial non-success. That's all I want to do. I don't know what's happening here.
Do we need to just put the cap on this episode? We already know where this is going.
I don't know what you mean. I mean, I watched a movie with my buddies, and I'm just ready to recap.
Okay, let's go then. Again, this is when this came out. What, 82?
82.
Yeah.
So this is the 82 version. Yes, and this is in itself kind of a remake of the original version from the 50s. The
Hmm.
thing from what? The thing from another planet, I think it was called, or something
Yeah,
to that
something like
effect.
that.
And it's the same premise, very simple premise. An Arctic scientific thing station, and basically this alien is discovered and fucks their world up, you know.
Well, yeah, but once again, man's got to screw around, right? They
Well,
find this sample, and oh well, yeah. See, that I'm going to the newer movie, the
Was
2011
it the
movie.
that
So
wasn't the 50s? I was like,
yeah, I'll give
okay.
you the history. So in the prequel, what is they're out there looking around and they find like this some kind of signal. I think they're getting a signal from the spacecraft. And then they find the alien in the ice, bring it back, and then it gets out and all hell breaks loose.
yeah. Do we want to go into any facts, figures, observations before we dive into the plot?
Well, yeah, like Dana said, it was a flop. It opening weekend, it did like $3,000. Uh, it was made for 15 million.
Wait a minute,
It's
wait a minute. Did you say $3,000?
$3,000, not 3 million, $3,000.
Holy
Um,
Oof.
moly.
it was made for 15 million and it grossed worldwide 20 million. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
So and we'll get more into it.
Hey, that's
I just want to
hilarious.
I just want to be clear. I guess
Oh
I'm just
man.
so sci-fi movies, for instance, like Alien, which was done on this beautiful podcast, was
Mhm.
done in 79, right?
Yes,
Correct,
yes.
As
correct.
E.T., when was E.T. done?
82 also. They came out the same year, and that's what part of the reason why they felt like this movie didn't do well because people wanted nice aliens at this time.
Well, they probably just wanted aliens that you know what I'll say that. But
Ay, ay,
I
ay.
do feel like that it's how was Alien the older movie? Like I literally had to go back and just be like, I know the effects were the effects of your time, but it just seemed like Aliens effects were better.
No,
Like
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
yeah,
Effects of our time? What the fuck does that mean?
they
Yeah,
were
Effects
we
of our
like
time.
not my
we talking
time.
about.
You're right. Not
Oh
my
no.
time. I
Well,
this is where it's all about ageism. You're right, but I just feel like 70 like for a movie like Alien to come out before this movie because that's pretty much my only real critique when I watched this. I was just very, very surprised by the effects and how things kind of looked. It just the puppeteering and all that type of stuff. I was
well,
kind of just like thrown
to
off.
your
Like,
point, Dana, the alien scene when it comes out of the chest it looks just as bad as everything in this movie. What Alien does very very well in that original movie is Ridley Scott really shoots it in the dark, and you really don't get great looks at the alien in that movie. And
hair.
that's
Yes.
smart. Yeah, he did it. It was very
Yes.
smart. It made it scarier. And if you didn't see it in full light, it didn't look. The only time you see it in full light really is when it bursts out of the chest, and
Mhm.
that one does look like a puppet. And yeah, some of this does look like a puppet, but for that day and time, this is still pretty groundbreaking stuff for 82. What they did.
Dana has that face like if you say so.
82, man.
Alien was a kind of one in a million.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a combination of factors, I think. Very little of it having to do with it was all about production techniques. Alien is all cinematography. You know, it was knowing how to light scenes,
Yes.
the incredible settings that's designed by Giger. You know, it had a lot of things going for it that a lot of movies of the time didn't. So it was
Like a
ahead
movie
of its
like this
time.
of its time. Like a movie
Shit.
literally that came out 4 years later, three
Didn't
Yeah.
years
I
later.
didn't
Like
I fire you during Tim
yeah,
Burton month? What are you doing?
I just your childhoods. I once again I gotta repeat this. I love you guys, and by love, I hate you guys. So
I would
I
say
just
this
want to be
movie has a
clear.
better cast than Alien, and I think better acting than Alien.
We
Oh,
will get
Special
towards the
effects,
end.
I will say, is better than Alien. I will give you that.
sure.
Once we get to the end, I think I understand what you guys like about John Carpenter and his movies, and I think I can agree with it. But I do find the fact that it was not a success, I am not surprised. Like